and welcome. It's another edition of Kaleidoscope on Channels Television. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. I'm Anne Nwawadu. On Kaleidoscope today, we sit with Mrs. Alero Aida Otobo, who is one of the trustees of the Alising and Oluremi Aida Foundation and the eldest child of the founders who began the journey of giving back to society. Plus, we witnessed the official launch of the Alising and Oluremi Aida Foundation as it formally unveils its past work and future plans. Once again, welcome to Kaleidoscope. Let's begin the program today by introducing the Alising and Oluremi Aida Foundation and its mission as it continues to operate.
If the lives and times of Alising and Oluremi Aida could be captured in 6 words, it would be the good chasers and change catalysts. The couple lived their lives with a shared vision and ended with a legacy that is known today as the Alising and Oluremi Aida Foundation. During her lifetime, the matriarch of the family, Mrs. Oluremi Victoria Aida, was driven by a burning desire to see men and women transformed and empowered through God's Word by intentionally creating God encounters in cities and communities. This desire was very much in line with the patriarch of the family's passion to drive change through government policies and development programs. Over the last few years, the children of Alising and Oluremi Aida have navigated through the process of staying true to this call by establishing the Alising and Oluremi Aida Foundation and building a legal structure to help drive its vision and mission.
Let's now hear more from the trustee of the Alising and Oluremi Aida Foundation, Mrs. Alero Aida Otobo. The Alising and Oluremi Aida Foundation has just been launched, but I'd like to ask, is this the beginning of a new journey, or did this journey start long before now? Had it always been in existence? I mean, tell us what the story is.
It's a good question. The Alising and Oluremi Aida Foundation has been in existence for at least 10 years.
Oh, wow.
But it wasn't a legal entity until the last 1 year. So we were doing what foundations do, but we've been doing it very quietly, very gently, and that is more in line with what our parents are like. They're very quiet people, very elegant people. They didn't like too much attention. So over the last 10 to 12 years, we've been giving to ministries, individuals, and organizations that my mother, before she passed on, gave us instructions to give to. And at the unveiling of the foundation on Wednesday, 28th of December, that word generous, 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 generous kept coming through, and it captures the essence of who they are. So what we're doing now with the unveiling and the launch is that we want the next generation to begin to identify with the core values of the foundation, and we want them to start taking responsibility. So that, in a way, for us, 5 of us, we are the trustees, 5 siblings, we sort of stepped aside a bit and made sure that the next generation were in front. So the next generation were the co-hosts on that day with our youngest, Maje Aida. And it went very, very well.
Let's talk about what inspired this foundation from the very beginning. How did it all start?
Both my parents are givers. So before she passed on, she spent time with each and every one of us and shared her heart and what they had been doing over the years, which is to bless organizations and ministries. Ministries like Redeemed Christian Church of God, Friendship Bible Fellowship, that my mother's with others co-founded, a school in Kaduna that belongs to my aunt and uncle, and my aunt is my sister to my father. So, just helping organizations do better and impacting communities as well. So they were very much, they gave a lot of scholarships out to people that we don't even know, and we're still finding out years after they passed on that they had been such a blessing. They had sent people through school, like how Nigerians generally are very generous, and there were no exception. So after they passed, my father passed 3 years ago, we decided that, you know what, let's formalize what we've been doing. And we decided to focus on individuals, communities, and society. And my parents were big, especially my father, as a super PAMSEC, was big on nation building. Nations are built on the twin tracks of education and health. So any nation that doesn't get education right, or doesn't get health right, you're not going to go very far. So we are going to, one of the things that we want to do as AOA Foundation is to focus on education and health, well-being. My sister, I just have one sister, she's a consultant, obs and gynae in the UK, and she's the medical director of one of the big hospitals. So of course we're big on well-being. And then my youngest brother is a health and fitness guru, and he's big on well-being. So we see that there's a thread running through what we're interested in and what my parents were interested in. And the very first step that we're taking as we are branching out and pushing boundaries is to go back to where my parents grew up. And where is that? Warri Kingdom. So one comes from north of Warri and another from south of Warri. And we've decided to just go there and adopt schools. So what we've done over the last 3 months is to work with an organization that we're going to partner with several organizations actually to go there, and we've identified a school in Koko community that we're going to adopt and not just transform the school, but most especially the learning outcomes, because that's what matters. The school can be beautiful, but the quality of teaching, of learning may be really low, and we want to be able to impact at that level and impact parents as well, involve parents. So part of our strategy is parental involvement in the education of their children. And the very third thing that we're focusing on, now that we've set up a formal structure, is angel investment. And every time we talk about angel investment, we have two of my nephews are so excited about it, because one of them is a cryptocurrency, yes, big on cryptocurrency. So he says when the angel investment starts, call on me. So we're looking forward to putting that into bringing that into reality. Our father loved playing tennis. His love for the game has been passed on to my brothers now, Sheyi, Abi, and Maje, and even his grandchildren. So the foundation has taken a decision to support tennis tournaments and is playing a significant role with the Lagos Lawn Tennis Club in Tafawa Balewa Square. We ran the first, we supported the first tournament in 2022, last year, and we are planning to actually set up a lawn tennis academy, a tennis academy for young people, looking for young talents that will be able to sponsor, able to train, and hopefully take some of the stars, shining, rising stars, to the next level.
What category of individuals are you looking at to attend to or to cater for? The ones you're doing now and the ones you probably hope to do in future?
Another good question, and I'll tell you why. We're big on supporting individuals and organizations that encapsulate the 3 core values that my parents lived by. And those 3 core values: love, they were big on love, love of individuals, love of communities, and then love for the nation. And then service. My father, as a public servant, it was important to him to serve the nation, and he served well, by God's grace. And my mother as well served in several ministries and as a nurse served. And then the third is excellence. We are big on excellence, on raising standards of doing things well, doing things properly. But we are what we call a single source foundation. So we're not asking people to give us money, no. We want to give. In due course, we may partner with others, but at the moment, that's what we want to do, so that we don't have to explain to anyone why we are giving an organization money. It's our choice. It's in line with our vision. It's in line with our mission, and we're doing it. So that's what is most important for us now. And I want to be able to take people out of poverty. We want to be able to transform lives. And that's why when I saw you, when we first met, I noticed the butterfly on you. Because like I told you, I'm passionate about butterflies. And what we like to do as a foundation is to take people and help them to become butterflies. They emerge and become the best version of themselves.
So something just caught my attention. You talked about mission and vision. I'd like to know what this is for this foundation.
AOA Foundation, yes. You know, I said earlier that we spend a lot of time thinking about the vision and the mission. And I could tell you what the vision and mission is using my words, but because we spend time, and I know my siblings will be listening to this, as I never get it right, so I want to make sure that I get it right. Okay, so I shall read, and I love reading. Our vision is to uphold values that build strong individuals, communities, and societies. Because these are the values that govern the lives of Alison and Oluremi Aida. So that's what we want to pursue. And the mission is to support those individuals and organizations that uphold those values. And there are three areas that we're focusing on. Spiritual growth. We are big on spirituality because it was important, especially to my mother. So spiritual growth, advancing, like I said earlier, on educational development and achievement, and angel investment. And that's where the next generation is saying yes. Sure. And I'm going to read this as well. The foundation of all that we do is love. The love of God, love of family, love of others, and love of knowledge. Then service, serving others with humility, integrity, and selflessness. My parents were big on that. And then excellence. We deeply instill belief in the pursuit of excellence. That this pursuit of excellence is the foundation of great success.
We can't end this conversation without finding out what you hope to see in the future for the Alison and Oluremi Aida Foundation.
Future.
Yes.
I'm pausing because on that day when we launched, quite a few prophetic prayers were uttered that made us think, okay, that's interesting. We weren't thinking that big, you know. So we would like to have national impact. But what we heard on that day was continental impact. Even somebody said, I see you on the global. I thought, okay, let's start with Nigeria and Africa, you know. But on a more serious note, that immediately for us
sparked something.
Yes, it sparked something, and it sparked not just interest, but it's like, let's do this well. So if we're about excellence, let's do it well. And immediately, we're already taking steps. We had our trustees meeting the following day over dinner before everybody started going back to the UK, you know, and we have plans for the year that we've already mapped out. And we're going to hold ourselves accountable, and we're going to monitor what we're doing. And so we're doing, like I said, because we've worked in corporate Nigeria, where some of us are still working in corporate Nigeria, we want to run this foundation very well. We want the little that we do to stand out, to have impact. And there's an acronym I've started using for the Alison and Oluremi Aida Foundation, and it's RIP. So we want them to rest in peace, right? RIP. And R is for relevance, I for impact, and P for purposeful. It is our hope that the children, the next generation, will rise up and take the baton that we are handing over to them. They run with it and ensure that the Alison and Oluremi Aida Foundation not just has national impact, but also continental impact and global impact. And why global? Because the next generation are global citizens. And I know that they are ready, they're prepared for a time such as this, and they will do what we desire that they will do, which is leave a legacy that has global impact, that was started by the Alison and Oluremi Aida.
We'll definitely have more for you in just a moment when Kaleidoscope returns. Please stay with us.
I'm about to serve better breakfast.
If you're in Lagos, you need to see this.
I'm not just streaming content, I'm just escaping traffic.
Get more data to enjoy exclusive content. Dial *141# now. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. You're still watching Kaleidoscope on Channels Television. In the second part of the program, we check out the sights and sounds from the launch and unveiling of the Alison and Oluremi Aida Foundation.
It's all glitz and glamour at the public launch of the Alison and Oluremi Foundation as friends, family and well-wishers of late Pa Alison and Mama Oluremi Aida gather at the Harbour Point in Lagos, southwest Nigeria to celebrate the outstanding feat of the couple who began the journey of giving back to society. For many, both Mr. Alison and Mrs. Oluremi had distinguished features, but always found a way to help their community.
Let's get together and feel alright. Saying don't worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Saying don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright.
Lead us today, and after today, may we take something home that will continue to impact positively on this country at the national level, at the state level, at the local level, and at the family level, and as well as within the church.
This circles back to the value about my grandparents that was constant and never changing growing up. No matter when it was or how long it had been since I had seen them, my grandparents would always welcome me with a warm embrace or a huge smile. If I was ever upset, which was a lot of the time, I was a difficult child. When I was younger, I would just go to my grandmother and my tears would immediately change to laughter. Grandpa was a man of few words, but whatever he said was always the right thing. Whether it was a quick telling off or him telling me how proud he was of what was going on in my life. I want to summarize by saying I love you, Grandma and Grandpa, and now you will all get an opportunity to hear from people that have also benefited from this same love and generosity I enjoyed.
At times like this, I think for me, this is actually the first launch I've been to in Nigeria that actually didn't cost me anything. And I'm sure the rest of you feel like that. However, this is the part where we now get to ask you for something. What I would like to ask you is that you maintain the way you have honored my parents showing up today, and remember this foundation in your prayers and your thoughts, and pray for its success and its continuity. It has been our distinct honor and pleasure as the trustees and also as the children, and also speaking on behalf of the future generations, have you all here supporting this, being a part of it. I know that they would be very, very proud. It is each and every one of us's prayer that we do something with our time here. And that also it is my prayer for us all that our children and your children will also do something to celebrate your legacy.
A brief panel is established to give more insight into the vision and mission of the foundation, A roadmap inspired by the philanthropic life of Papa Alising and Mama Oluremi Ayida, which has now been adopted by the foundation to operate fully.
The fact that the folks have managed to set something up, and here we are a decade later from when we started it, the journey continues, and we have been able to sustain it. I think, for me, more important than being very flashy at short time is to keep consistent, keep even-keeled, and always make sure that you're there to support those who you choose to support. And you continue to do it, and then pass that on to the next generation, and they continue to do it. And once you can do that, then you achieve the sustainability, and you're now approaching the definition of evergreen.
Why this is significant, really significant, is because, like my brother said, the last 10 years we've been doing things really quietly. But with the passing away of my father 3 years ago, we knew that it was time for us to start paying attention, more attention to what really mattered to them. So we have taken a decision to be part of the solution.
The special guest and royal father of the Shekiri Kingdom, the Olu of Warri Ogiami Atuashe II, also makes his input while noting some outstanding features of the family.
Honor to whom honor is due. Growing up, we heard and read about the super palm sex. I only had the pleasure of meeting later Alising Ayida maybe once or twice. But I have not had the pleasure, and I thank God for this opportunity to see Philip Asiodu. God bless you, sir. Today I see once again, not as though we needed another reminder, the importance of living a good life, the importance of being a pace setter, the importance of keeping to what may seem impossible standards. Because when you stand for these things, they outlive you and they inspire those who are coming behind. I came here I thought I was going to come and encourage the children to not forget how close their father was to home. And so I'm proud to see that they are already following in his footsteps with the work that they are doing in Cocoa.
The children of the late couple, who were also trustees of the foundation, speak about the expectations and the philosophy behind the foundation, which has existed for several years before its official launch.
So we are not a formal grant-making organization because we have our themes that we are focused on: love, service, excellence, so it's education, but also we're very big on education, and we want to see if we can impact early childhood more than anything else. That is one way we can do our own initiative that helps to assist, because we believe that if we can build leaders by catching them young, then they in turn can impact other people, because the scales of the challenges are so vast that it's not something that can be met either materially or through resources or even by money. It's just too vast and there are too many. What is key is that it's a sustainable initiative, and it builds people up and it leads. We have an angel investment program as well, and we consider programs on their merit, those that may be impactful and align with our themes. So that is what we're looking at right now. Because one of the things we discovered that in early childhood, that maternal health is so important because healthy mothers raise healthy children. Nutrition is a key thing that needs to be impacted on, particularly early childhood. We have found that that severely impacts children's development, their learning ability, and their cognitive development. So those are the sort of things we want to impact. So it's not all just about books and desks and tables and chairs. You have to look at what are the other things in early childhood. Teachers that are actually trained in early childhood development, because healthy, happy children are better at learning, they have better outcomes in their lives, and they can impact people better. So that is one area we are looking at, that we are supporting in terms of early childhood, and we're trying to develop a model that's easily replicable and can scale out.
Personally, in my opinion, the children are our future. So I'm very excited about our launch of the Tennis Academy, our annual tennis tournament, because it's really going to give a lot of the less fortunate youth a place to go and nurture their talent, to have a purpose, discover a purpose. I mean, I think we have a great future here. We have a lot of talent that is undiscovered. And if we can do our part to help with that, that's what we're going to do.
We would be looking to build on the foundation already laid by the existing trustees. We would be looking to bring a modern flavor to their work. We would be hoping to bring their attention to other companies, other organizations that would benefit from the good work of the Alison and Oyuremi Foundation.
With its focus on education, health, sports, and other sectors in the future, the Alison and the Oluremi Ayida Foundation is poised towards helping individuals and organizations bridge the gap in societal challenges and driving national growth and development.
Well, they say the greatest legacy one can pass on to one's children is not money, but a legacy of character and faith. And on that note, we end Kaleidoscope for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget, watch past editions on youtube.com/channels web. Click on playlist, then scroll to Kaleidoscope. And of course, you find various editions of the program. So keep yourself busy. I'll see you again very soon. Take care. I'm Anne Nwawadu. Please stay safe.